good afternoon, good morning, good evening, guys. Scott here with Phantasma, and boy, am I ever excited for today's event. This has been in the works for quite some time, and I am super stoked to introduce to you the man, the myth that we've had over at Phantasma, and of course, becoming the legend over at Phantasma. David Shapiro is an incredible man, and he's the man behind Semkhor Networks. And Semkhor is a top-tier network talent organization. He will tell you everything about this organization. Is fantastic. And David, hello, dude. Thank you so much for taking your time today to get on today's AMA for Phantasma Soldiers and to be able to bring Kevin Smith. We got a lot to talk about with what's coming up on Wednesday with the NFTs. And you know what? Just before we started this, guys, David sent me a video. And I just threw it. I said, I'm throwing it in. We're going to play this video right now, and then we'll get into it with David. But here we go, guys. Here's a really, really nice message from my favorite movie director, literally of all time. So this is incredible. Thanks, Kevin.
Hey there, Phantasma folks. It's me, Kevin Smith, and I just want to give you a heartfelt thank you. My heartfelt thanks to all you soldiers out there, my friends, for building our NFTs as we get ready to open Jay and Silent Bob's Crypto Studio. Thankfully, when we announced, I was able to stand behind Phantasma as one of the blockchains that's actually thinking about the environment. And so thank you for that, because that was the only thing that they kind of came at me for. But man, oh man, I can't wait for our first drop. And then I can't wait for our second drop and our third drop. We've got so many drops planned. I'm in for the long haul, man. This is so in my wheelhouse. This checks all of my collector boxes, both as a person that's collected things his entire life and as a person that has sold collectibles as well. Perfect marriage of both. And it wouldn't happen with all you good folks at Phantasma. So thank you so much, man. Onward and upward. I hope we make a lot of people happy with our NFTs. I know we will.
Wow. Now that was a really cool message. You know, when I got a chance to hear that, it just really demonstrates how strong this relationship is and everything we've been through. But David, this is your show now. And thank you for taking time out of your day to talk to the soldiers about Phantasma. And I think one of the most important questions for any token holders is why we're here today. You know, tell us a little bit about your journey and a little bit about yourself, man. Thank you.
My journey with Phantasma began about 3 months ago. It's very funny. Anyone, grandma, uncle, dog, now knows what an NFT is. But it's pretty strange to think that maybe, 6 months ago, 7 months, only the people deep into crypto knew about it. And I think right now, everybody is still stuck on the first iteration of an NFT, which is some sort of digital art and what's going on in Nifty Gateway, which to me is very beautiful, but also repetitive and doesn't really scratch the surface of what an NFT is. I've come to start calling it programmable art. And if you want to work with programmable art, what makes a lot of sense, you can connect with the underlying infrastructure, which in this case is Phantasma. My background on the web goes all the way back to Gopher and Linux and hopping around the internet through that user interface. I was there for Mosaic. I was there for Netscape. And it really warms my heart to see crypto bringing back the real power of the internet, which is people getting together and doing projects collaboratively. But now we have so many tools. And also the COVID-19, as terrible as it's been, has forced a lot of innovation in terms of remote workflows, remote production. My company's been on the forefront of that. We finished up 2 movies during COVID. And right now is the perfect time to do incredible collaboration, create incredible effects. And I see NFTs as a gateway into a very incredible interaction between artists and their audiences. So working with Phantasma really allows me to dream big and to bring on artists who want to experiment, who've always experimented, like Kevin Smith. And more to come, a lot more to come later. So I would like to open this up to any questions you have. From my perspective, this is the next evolution in content development. I love the idea that's like a short movie that can be embedded into an NFT. To me, that's very, very exciting. Used to go like, oh, we're going to make a web series. This is more exciting. So being in the production world, being in the movie world, yeah, I know the power of storyboards. And now storyboards have become like collateral art that's very valuable and attractive. If you watch The Mandalorian, at the end of the show, they always put up their storyboards, the conception of it. One of the ways I'm looking at NFTs now is sort of an expansion of liner notes inside old records and bringing storyboards to life. So in the record, you open up a Beatles record and you pull out a big picture hidden in it. It's the same thing, but digitally. What can we hide in an NFT? How can we deepen the relationship between the listener and the NFT and the artist? So that's what I see going on right now. And that's what we're doing. We're not just working on throwing images up and a little bit of animation.
It's absolutely been fascinating, and I liked to hear Kevin's story last week and of how he described the very first conversations the two of you had together, and you guys had been already working together on various different projects, including the KILLROY Was Here project. And your initial thought was, well, maybe this might be a good way to gain some exposure for this movie, and I really enjoyed to hear his story from his side, and understanding your story of how this has evolved. And the aspect of storytelling was something Kevin talked a lot about on the interviews, and coming from my world, I thought it was just absolutely fascinating. And what I'm most excited about is the ingenuity that you and your team and the Smodco team, the Kevin Smith camp, have been able to identify this technology and create a use case for it. The Cameo NFT that you guys are launching on Wednesday, and of course the NFT itself, KILLROY movie. I thought that was a really cool evolution of that and how you're expanding. So some of the stuff you're coming up with is just awesome.
Well, I think there's a lot more interaction to be had between the physical and digital world. And working with Kevin is it's a great treat. He's incredibly creative both on the marketing and content side. That is unique. You can have a lot of talent on the marketing side. You have a lot of talent on the creativity side. But Kevin's world he created merges the two. So for me to be able to work with him and to bring his vision to life is really, really fun. I think they're very beautiful NFTs, and I think he's being very, very smart in how to communicate with the audience. And we see connecting the film world, the cinematic world, with the NFT world, and it's very interesting. There's a lot coming out that you'll find out in the new movie that references NFTs. It's very exciting. And so, like I said, I don't view this as like the end. The cash grab, I can call it a little bit of a cash grab going on now. That can't last. But what can last is incredible things that you could do with an artist and audience, where they can support the artist's content that they love and expand, and have this other layer of value that's not there with Kickstarter. You have an NFT, you have currency, and that currency can hold value. And hopefully we're building NFTs that both have a lot of beauty that you want for yourself, but also that you can just trade. I also love being on the Phantasma platform because it's environmentally friendly, and that's important. They're always striving. And I also like being on the Phantasma platform because you do have the power of the blockchain and the decentralization, but you also have a great team that makes you feel welcome. So we're going to really try to build this out as a studio, really like a crypto studio. Kevin calls it Jay and Silent Bob's Crypto Studio. We'll also be working with artists like Marc Anthony and Dylan McDermott, a lot of others, Heavy Metal Magazine. And in each case, we're going to try to really dive into their brand, their concept, and allow them to do things much more quickly, better, and deeply. I mean, to me, going back to the storyboard concept, you have a storyboard, it's very cool, and then you see in the movie how it came to be, or you look back. Here, say an artist is conceptualizing an idea, he wants to put together a movie or a film. Well, we can take that storyboard, we can animate it, give the person a slice of what that whole finished content might look like. And that has value in and of itself, but maybe that's also a gateway to produce the longer form of that. Maybe Scott will show you the Blunt Man and Chronic NFT that we're doing. And maybe one day with Phantasma's support, the audience, we'll actually turn that into a crypto live comic, crypto animation. So I see a lot of potential.
It's super exciting, and you know what, you're giving me goosebumps having this conversation and just hearing about it, because there's one thing with the crypto world. I've been around the block a few times, and I've seen what happened in the late 90s through the early 2000s, and the elements of investment, and a lot of crypto investors are in it for that particular grab. But we understand that Phantasma's value and worth is in the longevity of our partners, and that's what this partnerships demonstrates, and that's what I want soldiers to absolutely recognize here, is the commitment that your organization, you primarily leading it, has put into this partnership to be able to bring this incredible talent. And then after hearing Kevin last week and watching the evolution of his creativity grow, and I mean, there was something dropped last week that I think it was on the Bad Crypto podcast, and they were talking about flashing some sort of thing where people potentially pull out their phones and scan the screen and interact and actually have a full interaction with this movie that's going, and that's groundbreaking. That's a whole different level of entertainment that
I think a lot of that stuff is brilliant and cool, and I think that's more on the marketing side. But on the creativity side, I think it offers a lot of opportunity as well. I think, in other words, producing and writing content, hopefully one day you'll be able to store it directly in a bigger blockchain. I know people are working on that right now. Mm-hmm. But the marketing and all that interaction is fun. But I also see the fact that you can hang up high-resolution flat screens that look nicer and nicer, that could give you a 3D, almost virtual reality thing. So your Nifty then can reach the physical world that way. Or how about embedding 3D printing and allow you to print out like a whole full poster or sculpture? I see this coming down the line, and I want to be a part of that. And I think that giving the artists that. Another thing that everyone I'm working with is committed to is breaking other artists. In other words, they're already famous and successful. And around them, around everyone, these people, they have great artists who maybe they design certain aspects for their company or their projects, to highlight those people too and give them a shot at it, get them a shot at supporting themselves. So we want to support all artists. So again, asking about the Phantasma chain, this is a home. We consider this a home. I also want to say the only thing that we need to do as a community, and I do feel part of the community now, is to make sure that Kevin's first collection is a success. We've tried to build very, very beautiful, beautiful NFTs, and we've tried to instill them with real value. We've tried really hard. We worked a long time. If we can all join together, soldiers in arms, I'm a soldier too. If we can all join together to make this drop a success, then I will promise the community that we will have a free range of working with incredible people on incredible projects. All that needs to happen is the success here. So just keep that in mind as a community.
Those are really big words, guys. And, there's a little bit of a learning curve here, let's face it, of the crypto world, a very immature world that is beginning to develop a level of maturity meeting the world of Hollywood. And if that's something that I've learned and the management team has learned, and on that note, I think it's a good time to tell our community, David, that you are an advisor of Phantasma. And you are a part of this team, whole in and whole out. And it's guys like you that our team needs to lead on for particular guidance to help navigate these worlds that we don't have any experience in. And boy, are we just thrilled to be able to have that particular guidance. And again, this first particular drop is awesome, but it's way more than that. And even the vision.
We're going to bring on professional baseball. Too, very shortly, and we're going to do it in a way no one else has. So there's always going to be major corporations. Another thing I want to bring up is we're not competing like that. we're just building our own space, our own independent cinema, so to speak, like Alamo. You when Alamo first came, Alamo Draft House. Are you familiar with that, Scott?
No,
Like
David. No.
Bistro.
No,
You know,
but I'll be
Bistro?
googling in
Well,
20 minutes.
At a certain point, some companies said, "Hey, people want to go out to eat dinner and a date, and so you can order dinner while you watch the movie." At both those places, Bistro and Alamo. It was an evolution, and they became incredibly popular before COVID. But the point was, is they weren't trying to compete with the big chains and movie theaters. They were trying to create an experience. And the way I see going with the partners we have, the creative partners we have, and the creative team at Phantasma, is just building our own space. We're not going to be the biggest. We're not trying to be the biggest. We're not trying to be overly corporate. We're just trying to build incredible NFTs with great talent. And I think we're going to achieve that. I think we have achieved that. And I'll say this again. Listen, I'm heavily invested in this drop, and I'm working very hard to make this happen. If we can keep our eyes focused on this drop coming up, reach out to everybody, help this succeed, we're going to have so much fun over this year. That I can promise you. So if we succeed here with this, why wouldn't artists want to bring their most interesting, creative, out-of-the-box thinking to us? They will. They will.
It's interesting because, like, I've been thinking about this, and I am a big fan of Smith, and my favorite movie is genuinely Clerks, and so it's kind of a little bit of a surreal experience. But from a business perspective, had this been any different than a blockchain, I'd be restricted from bidding on these Cameo NFTs. But being a blockchain with an open ledger and an auction, and we have a public date that it goes live, it's like, well, I'm in the hunt for that. So on that note, let's take a look at this NFT. This has never been shown to the world yet. Nobody else has seen this. So this is the first time you guys are seeing this.
Guys, for you soldiers.
Even internally, I mean, it's a flippin' Cameo NFT into a movie, guys. Like, this is something else. So let's take a look here and enjoy it.
Noinch, noinch, noinch. NFTs, NFTs. Snooch to the nooch. You non-fungible fuck. You got a smoking token #1 featuring Jay and Silent Bob reboot art by Captain Ribman. Holy fuck, you must be rich, because this is the Platinum Smoking Token. And guess what? It's not just an NFT, it's also your ticket into our next movie, Clerks 3. Not to see it, but to be in it. Congratulations, you blockchain bitch. You just won a crypto cameo in Clerks 3. Welcome to the movie biz, snoochy booches.
This message is brought to you by Jay and Silent Bob's Crypto Studio. Congratulations. We'll see you in our movie.
Wow, man. That's like, every time I hear and see it, that's amazing. And guys, like David had said at the beginning, this is an AMA. Ask him questions. I'm going to start going through some of the questions and taking a look here. We've got to jump on another call, so we've got to end this in about 15 minutes or less. And the other thing I just wanted to talk about, David, was just the clarity of the difference between Kilroy is here and Kilroy was here. and then maybe just a little bit about what the community is going to get the opportunity to buy. So, the different tokens and stuff like that. So
it was a joke with this little teaser trailer, because Kilroy is here on Phantasma. See, Kilroy was there, and now he is here.
That's the point. Kilroy is here, guys. Love it. So we've got 4 color tokens. I think the world has seen a couple of different colors so far. They haven't seen the purple over the yellow. They've seen the Cameo Platinum. They just took a look at, and there's going to be 40 collector NFTs that have these 4 colors in it. Correct?
Yes, and you also get a signed T-shirt that'll arrive about a week or so after you get it. And you will also, I think, did Did you tell them that there's going to be platinum cards inserted into the Kilroy and regular token drop?
We really have not discussed anything of the campaign. This is the world first of it until it comes live.
Well, right. So the collector's pack ensures that you have all 4 plus a signed T-shirt that we're only printing for this. So that's it, no more.
40 shirts.
Yeah, and we have 5 Cameo tokens, platinum tokens, that we're making part of this drop. But 2 of those are hidden like Willy Wonka's golden ticket in other NFTs, which are much, much less expensive, because that was important to Kevin, to all of us, to make sure that people could get into this. So somewhere hidden in the 4 regular tokens, and some of them are, so we have many more of the green one and much fewer of the purple one. But somewhere in this is a platinum card that you will receive after you buy. So anyone who has it will be eligible to have that sent to them. Okay. Now, another one is going to be hidden in the regular drop. The Kilroy is Here teaser trailer, which is even less expensive. And we're going to keep that minting open for a couple of days, and then we're going to close it, and that's it. But some lucky person will win that Cameo. So we're trying to be very, very creative here. Also, 50 random people in the regular drop and the regular tokens are going to receive a merch coin from Kevin Smith's company, and that will have a code on it, and you'll be able to go to the store and get free merchandise selected by Jay and Silent Bob. So we're trying here to have fun with where the crypto world starts and the real world begins and all the rest of it.
That's something else. And so we've got 2 Cameo NFTs are going to be hidden into lower cost tokens, and the collector set is the 4 tokens, the color tokens all together, and it's actually less expensive to purchase the collector set than it is to purchase all 4 tokens.
That's correct. And there's
on their own. And they're also the first 40 mints of the cards. So those collector sets, and here's something, guys, that I was thinking about this morning, having a conversation with a good friend of mine, and we were talking about, for example, the Kings of Leon album that went out, and it's just there's only 3,000 of those left that haven't been opened up yet, and their price since they launched a couple of weeks ago is like 5 or 6x, and the reason why is because they're the first of its kind. They're the first. Well, they're the first that have claimed publicly. They're not the first, because we actually had the first on our chain, but from a consumer standpoint. And so here we are. These are the first NFTs in the history of the planet, guys, on this chain that we're going to have the opportunity to buy. They are forever. When Kevin Smith started talking about his art, and he's showing a picture of him and Chris Rock, and when him and his wife met on the set of Dogma back in '97, saying like this was he owned this thing, and this is the one thing the blockchain has is if his house burns down, that's gone. So this is for eternity, forever, and I think that's what we all recognize in the crypto world, the value of what this technology can do. But this is it, guys. It's here on our chain, and we have a chance to own the first of these things.
We really have a chance to be that Alamo Cinebistro of the NFT world. And I refuse to call them NFTs anymore. As of this moment, they are just programmable art to me.
Yeah, programmable art is something that you brought up early on in our conversations, and it's really evolved from that, because it's about understanding. And
listen, Phantasma is in position, all the stars are aligned for us really to do something spectacular, both for the value of the chain itself and for the artists who would work with us. So I'm really excited, and anything I can do to encourage everybody to jump in, to call your friends and family and business people, business relations, and get them involved with us, because I think this drop is unique. It's certainly going to be the most unique when Kevin has the movie as part of his NFT in the next drop. But it is very unique. I think we're making a little bit of crypto history here. And it would be wonderful if we can succeed together at this. Everybody benefits. And we're really trying to make sure that whatever we do it's good for everybody. If it takes longer, more complex, we think it's worth it.
Well, it's definitely worth it, and unfortunately, the crypto market is a very interesting market, and we saw the entire market take a slam this weekend, and it's like, well, that's just the way it is. But we were definitely extremely forward thinking, recognizing that. One thing I say all the time, David, when we do our AMAs, and I wholeheartedly believe in that the success of Phantasma, in my opinion, my viewpoints, is down to 3 words, and that's use, utility, and adoption. And we've identified the utility, that was the chain being developed, and then artists and whatnot have found, and we've discovered different use cases to it. And of course, your firm has brought some use cases to it, and of course, adoption. And I can't think of anybody better that's got a more cult follow, a more loyal following than Smith fans to his world in the comic book world. It's just like, I forget the words that he used in it, but he says just in my world this just resonates. It was, it's definitely
I think
there.
Kevin has built a very amazing universe. I think it stands alone. I saw a JPEG somewhere where it says something like Kevin Smith created the unified cinematic universe first or before Marvel. And he did. Characters were popping up from one movie to the next, and he has his audience because he deserves his audience, because he's providing creative value to his audience. And the crypto world, if you take away the word crypto and just go back to the old world, like peer-to-peer, so they used to call it. And we can do things together now that we couldn't do before. There's no middleman here. We don't have to go through a gallery. It doesn't have to be marked up. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to go to a convention to resell your trading card. It's right here for us. And as far as I want to take it, but I am always going to be pushing to see how to blend the crypto world with the physical world. I think that's important. I think that's interesting.
That's incredible, and now we have a whole different. We have the Cryptoverse, and it's actually being written into Clerks, and there's a whole underlying story about crypto. And Kevin's having a lot of fun writing some of these jokes for that. And it's funny you bring up that multiverse. And my son's a big comic book fan, and he's 15 years old, and we watch Supergirl together and Flash and these types of things. And I told him that story, and he's like, confused, like, whoever, Dad, whatever, Kevin Smith. And been watching a few different things, and then I learned that Kevin had done some directing with Supergirl. I'm like, gosh, look, like this Supergirl itself, now he's like, Dad, how did well, listen to Kevin. I mean, that existed in the comics, but Kevin did bring that to the movie world, the multiverse, prior to the comic book world, and so it's pretty interesting. He's a just absolute incredible man. So we've gone through here, David, and we've got a boatload of comments, and lots of confirmations. So that tells me that you are answering a lot of the questions that the community has. But I also think that they're having a little bit of fun, because there's somebody in the chat room that's shilling themselves as Kevin Smith. So I think they're having fun out there.
Kevin is on a interview right now, so that would be pretty cool if he managed to do both.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't see that little face who that really is, but maybe it's just somebody that's got the name Kevin Smith and is just trying to drop it on our party. But I think
with any questions I can answer.
Yeah, let's give it another couple of minutes to get that up. I'm just going to recap some of the events that are going to happen over the next couple of days. We have a couple of more events to go live, guys, from some really good friends of ours over at Crypto Busy. They've got a recorded event with Kevin Smith. And every time we go through these, he tells his story a little differently. So I encourage you to watch every single event. We had a ton of, I was in the background completely muted. I haven't even had a chance to say a word, but Kevin shares a lot. And make sure you check out the Bad Crypto event that happened on Friday. And then we have these going on sale on April 21st. And it's going to be a fun, busy day. And you never know. In between now and then, there may be a little other tidbit of information. But you'll have to wait. Make sure to stay tuned to to the Telegram group. We're going to be making our announcements there. I want to revisit that we had the website that went live. Guys, there was a lot of work into that and hand out to the team. Just a couple of things about the website. We took a lot of keen interest in understanding who the audience is and making sure to give them all the information they need, whether they're a token holder or the media. And I have to say, by the way, the media kit works. It was downloaded. I was interviewed on Friday by Decrypt. And at least yesterday, when you Google Kevin Smith and NFT, that was the very first article in Google. Point being, they're a high-end crypto source, so that's working, guys. We're doing everything we can to make our token holders happy and ensure that this project has got its sustainability for the long term here.
I also wanted to address one thing that I think is important. It's artistic integrity. You have to make money in this world to survive, and it's always a very difficult situation to mix art and commerce. All I can tell everybody is we're doing our best to balance both sides of it. Nothing's perfect, but we promise you we really are trying to do something real in this world, and we do really view this as a new medium with, I think, unlimited artistic potential. I've never seen anything that brings together tech and marketing and art in this way. So just keep that in mind. We're not rushing. Like, if Kevin wanted to do a cash grab, maybe you just do a bunch of shots of him and Jay. But that's not what he wanted to do. He wanted to try to experiment with this world, and that's why I partnered with him. That's why I partnered with Phantasma.
Unbelievable chance to be in the movie. Well, you just essentially addressed Mr. Meddleson's song or son's question. Kevin Smith, that's in the chat room, did come to light and say he's not that Kevin Smith, but he is a Kevin Smith. Gary asks here. He's got a really good question, and you know what? Kevin actually addressed this last week a little bit, and so it'd be great to hear from your perspective. But what's the sentiment in Hollywood towards NFTs? Maybe even 3 months ago, and after Hollywood headline dropped.
It was pretty clear. Just follow the papers. Everyone. First, it was, like I said, 7 months ago, only crypto people were talking about it. You definitely, people were following it. They knew. Right now, if you had asked me, I think it's seen as a massive potential cash grab. It's a new revenue stream. So that's why I'm saying to the community, we just can't be that. We're not looking to be a major corporation. We're not looking to work with celebrities and stars that way. When I was working with more film, I always work with an educational institution. I never did this on its own commercially. So we're just trying to be the out-of-the-box people. Like I say, create lasting, smaller batches of stuff. And we're boutique, and we're going to stay that way. We just want to craft these things. We're not looking to do it because, how many stars can drop NFTs? Is it really going to work? Like 100,000 top tier stars are all going to make $6 million like Grimes by dropping NFTs? I don't think so. I think this is more a vehicle, a means to interacting with the audience, and the audience now has a way of interacting with the artists. It's more direct. Like I said, look at the Bluntman and Chronic NFT. Well, we animated. That's an example of an animated storyboard. That's a cover. We brought it to life with it. But maybe the audience wants to really bring it to life and see this. So maybe at some point we can take something like that and we can sell NFTs to fund the actual production of that animation, leaving everybody who does it with an NFT of value plus the joy of bringing that to life. So who knows? But I see that in the future.
Wow. It's going to be a fun year, Mr. Shapiro, working with you. It's been a tremendous past couple of months, and I can't thank you enough for your help, your guidance, your leadership, and insight that you're bringing to.
Well,
Phantasma.
We feel the same way about you and Phantasma and Bill, and Vincent, and everybody is working so hard. It's fun. It really has been fun. And, come on, soldiers. I can say, because I'm a soldier now, too. I'm staked.
Yes, sir.
So I'm in. And I'm saying, if we just focus, me too, on making this drop a success, everything that I think, my prediction, is that everything that you hoped the chain would be in terms of value locked into it will happen, because we will have proved that Phantasma is a fantastic and safe home for real artists, not real, recognized artists, to come and put their stuff here, and it will succeed. And the reason I say recognized, I've seen in Ghost Market many, many real artists, beautiful artwork, succeeding there too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really exciting, and there couldn't be anything more organic about this particular relationship, folks. It's David comes to Phantasma as a soldier, and doing it old school. This is, I believe in the project. Let's put my own time and money down, and let's go for it, guys. So
let's go for it.
This is where we're at. But I think that's it, and we've got another call to jump on. So thanks, David.
Thanks,
soldiers. Yeah, thank you. And any last words?
No, just looking forward to seeing you all on the 21st.
Beautiful. I love it. All right, folks. Thank you.
Take
We're
care
out.
now.